I've always thought of as life as a puzzle, but a very special kind of puzzle. A puzzle where we can see a picture in the box. And why do I say this? So when we start life, we're basically just learning new things. We're taking in information from the world. We're seeing the things that we like and the things that we don't like. And then somewhere along the way, we come out with our personality, or as I would say, our way of interacting with the world. So why did I even come up with this idea of a puzzle? Through science, through everything that I've learned, I've learned to understand that fundamentally, we are all made up of the same thing. So when we look around us, from our pets that some of us have at home, and the trees outside of the campus, the water in our oceans, even the stars that we see in the night sky every single day, we are all made up of the same thing. So in a way, I think of us as being pieces of the same puzzle that we call the universe. I was born in Cuba 21 years ago, a place that I deeply love, but that I understand my parents had to abandon because they were seeking better opportunities for my brother and me. As soon as we got to this country, I realized that it was really hard. You had to work every single day. You wake up every morning, you go to work, and then I didn't even see my parents for whole weeks because they had to work overtime in order to be able to pay for rent and to be able to sustain my brother and I. And at the same time, I was struggling in school because when I arrived to this country, I didn't know the language. I got criticized many times for saying the wrong things, for not being able to pronounce things correctly. So I started to become very self-conscious. And to make a long story short, I went through high school without barely speaking any English. I didn't make any friends. And the worst part of all, even though my parents wanted to come to this country because they wanted an opportunity for me to follow my passions, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was confused. So when I started university, everything changed. I decided to major in biology. And you may be wondering, why biology? Well, I was always a very shy kid, but I was curious about the world. I wanted to know how everything worked. I was interested in finding the truths. And when I started university, I met people that had the similar interests as I did. So I started to meet people who trust me, people who would listen to me, and I didn't feel alone anymore. So for the first time, I was able to ask a question that I was always scared of asking because I thought people would call me crazy. Are we alone in the universe? And think about it. Are we truly alone in the universe? Because this question has been something that I've been asking myself for a long time, every night before I fall asleep. And I know we all have different opinions on the topic, and I understand it, and I respect everybody's opinion on it. But I wanted to create my own path to finding the answer to this question. My first summer, I joined an internship on machine learning and astronomy. I learned coding in the process. And honestly, I never thought my computer could do so many things. This internship led me to participating in the NASA Minds competition. I learned to build and program autonomous robots. It quickly became a hobby of mine. So I would just go home and build robots, and just for fun. But as you can tell, I'm very obsessed with space. But I was studying biology. So I wanted to find a connection between both of those things. So I came up with a project. I talked to my professor one day and I said, I want to work on a project that's related to astrobiology, because I was interested in both topics, right? So she said to me, okay, so if you come up with a project that we can do, we're gonna make it happen. And I did. I came up with a project about Martian agriculture. And why Martian agriculture? As many of you know, Mars is topping a list for candidates of future colonization. And I don't know, it just interested me. It was just an interesting topic. So I began to ask the question, would we be able to grow plants in Mars? Because if we're gonna colonize a planet, we need sustainable food source. And of course, there are many factors that can influence plant growth in Mars. But I focused on one, the soil. Martian soil lacks organic matter, so we actually call it regolith. In this project, I used Martian regolith stimulants, which basically are just simulating the composition of the Martian soil, and I enriched it with green manure and vermicompost. All of this to grow various plants. Well, the project ended up expanding even more than I imagined, because we ended up sequencing the DNA of the soil, looking for a specific sequence that would allow us to not only identify, but also classify the different microorganisms that were able to grow in the soil. And going back to that first question that I was asking myself, are we alone in the universe? So do you imagine how important it is, how important this project really is? Like, what if we actually find that microorganisms can survive on Mars? Aren't we a little bit closer to answering this question? So, as I said before, I'm curious. And I didn't want to get stuck in just one project. I just wanted to learn from as many things as I could. So I entered another project, but this time it was neuroscience. I started working on spinal cord injury. And now I'm going to take you back to the beginning of the speech. Do you remember when I said that we're all pieces of the same puzzle that I call the universe? Well, think about this. Zebrafish. Do you think we are anything alike? A zebrafish, a human? But guess what? About 71% of the genes that we have, we also share them with zebrafish. About 82% of the genes that cause diseases in humans have a counterpart in zebrafish. And did you know that they're able to regenerate their spinal cord after injury? And we're not. One of the main reasons for this comes down to stem cells. These are special types of cells that can differentiate into any other type of cell, basically. So when a zebrafish gets injured, the stem cells rush into the injury site, and then they're able to become neurons and reconnect those lost connections because of the injury. But in us, it's different, because our stem cells are only found in specific parts of our nervous systems. So we're not able to do this. So the project has been moving on so that we are able to inject the stem cells into the zebrafish, and that we're able to find whether the stem cells can actually accelerate the healing process of the zebrafish. With this project, I came to a realization. Science, it's much more than I thought it was. Science is a way for us to solve problems in the world. And as I said before, since we're all pieces of the same puzzle, we need the other things around us, the other organisms around us, to help us as well. Because how can, if we didn't know anything about the zebrafish, how could we even start to work on this experiment that would allow for a spinal cord recovery in a human being? That's an amazing thing that we're able to do this. So my main objective to be here tonight is that I want to encourage everybody to look for the pieces of your own puzzle. Because it doesn't matter what you like to study, or if you're even studying at all. Whatever you do in life, it really doesn't matter, because we're all connected in some way. No one thing in this world stands alone. So we all have something to do in the world. We all have an impact to make in the world. And that's important for us to recognize. And there's something else that I want to encourage you to do as well. From now on, after you walk out of this place, I want you to think that every time you learn something new, it's important that you connect it with the knowledge that you previously already have, because that's gonna help you see the world in a different way. That's gonna help you see like the interactions that you have with everyone around you. Even the chair that you're sitting on right now, fundamentally, you two are the same. Even though it's not a living thing, you are the same. So in a way, just every information that you learn, just put it together. I mean, our brain already does that, but consciously, we're not aware of it. Sometimes many of us are not aware of that we are doing this. And that is the main lesson that I want to teach everybody tonight here. And I really encourage you that no matter your background, no matter where you are in life, just continue learning. Because learning is the only thing that can bring civilization to a better future. Thank you.